Whilst you were catering to the company of buffoons' every whim, I was gathering information on our feathered foe. As a result, I was not present when the Garleans came. The Enterprise. I've heard that name before, but where? He who waited behind. Father Iliad has some parting words for you and the others. What a curious twist of fate that Captain Sid Garland would at last be found within our church. It defies imagination. Yeah, you're telling me. Beg your pardon, Lavenza. You wish to find his airship, yes? I know not how much truth there is to it, but there is a tale known as the final flight of the Enterprise, which grew popular in the wake of the calamity. Much like the Great Gubu Wall of Ulda. Nice. It states that the Enterprise flew northwest from Gridania towards Kurthis. If true, the airship would have passed through the North Shroud, likely over Falgord Float, the closest settlement to Kurthis. Mayhap the serpents stationed there have records of the events that transpired that day. I had hoped you might rest for your journeys for a time, but I see that the world still has need of you and the Scions. Pray look after yourself and Sid, Lavenza. So yeah, that's funny. I mean, you may or may not know, but like at the end of 1.0, you know, like during this whole event of like Dalamud coming down, like before they brought the servers down, I guess a whole bunch of players got together. I mean, like they do now with their mounts, you know, make the walls or the towers or whatever. But they made a great wall of Gubus, I guess, to protect against Dalamud or I remember there was a like the devs were able to create like had this whole event of like just spawning monsters. I think at the city states or whatever. Um, and maybe that's what the wall was there for too. Um, I unfortunately wasn't there for that because I just dipped my toe into 1.0 and then didn't come back to it, you know, for that end part. I wish I had, but you know, I've watched like the no clip documentary and stuff like that to, and then it's, I think, you know, the Gubu Wall has been brought up like on Reddit and stuff like that. Yeah, that's, yeah. Okay, Falgord Float. But it's just cool that they like kind of made a player event like a part of the actual story of the game. Is there aught I can assist you with, miss? The Enterprise. You speak of Master Garland's ship, yes? Aye. I needn't refer to the records. I know that the airship was sighted overhead 5 years ago, clearly bound for Kurthis. What became of it after that I cannot say. If you wish to know more, pray speak with Vortifart at Florentel's Spire. He was on duty that day and saw it with his own eyes. I am unsure what it is you hope to accomplish, though. Even should you locate the ship, would you not need a man of Master Garland's caliber to fly it? Indeed, and I have him. I hear tell that the machinery is fiendishly complex. Vortifart. Man, that's. I look forward to getting to Heavensward, but I also don't because I know, like, how difficult those names are, at least for me, to pronounce. So there's going to be, I mean, not that there's not already a lot of stuttered reading, but there's going to be even more. So I apologize in advance. You have come in search of Vortifart? Then well met, for you have found him. Indeed, I have served as a whaler for many years, since before the great snows came to Kurthis. What exactly is this about? That's another thing. I wish I could have seen Kurthis before it was covered in snow, because I know that was like a distinction between uh, pre and post calamity. Ah, the final flight of the Enterprise. I do indeed remember that day. Yeah, that's something I don't so much wish for, um, like to play 1.0, but it would be cool to like explore the zones and whatnot. Although I know there was a lot of copy pasta and all that, but still, just to see the difference now. Although I'm sure there's probably videos online. Cold reception. Vortifart wishes to tell you of the final flight of the Enterprise. 'Twas on the eve of the Battle of Cartnau, nigh on 5 years ago. I held the spire alone that night, while the bulk of our forces marched to meet the enemy in the field. Then, all of a sudden, the most fantastic airship I had ever seen splits the sky overhead. I could only watch in shock as it disappeared over the mountains to the northwest. If the Enterprise wasn't destroyed during the calamity, I'd wager it's still somewhere in Kurthis. The astrologians at the observatorium may have records which could help, but to obtain them you would need to deal with the Ishgardians who control the region. I wouldn't expect much, though. The high houses have long been concerned with their own affairs above all else. When Dalamud descended, they took shelter behind their gates, and even now they have little regard for the plights of other nations. Nevertheless, they may deign to assist you should you prove yourself useful. Consider providing your services to the soldiers who guard the observatorium. Though they may refuse you at first, I have little doubt they would accept aid freely offered. Nice. Now on to Kurthis. I don't know, as kind of, what's the word, dour as this zone kind of is. I just like the snowy environment. Excuse me, can you repeat that? You wish to offer your services to House Durandare? And what? And what, pray tell, do you wish to receive in exchange? Ha, how absurd. As if we would permit an outsider to peruse the records of the observatorium. Do not mistake our courtesy for friendliness. The Holy See of Ishgard may also okay. The Holy See of Ishgard may allow foreigners to travel freely within these lands, but we do not intend to offer succor to strangers. The Unending War. Sir Ludoval is doing his utmost to intimidate you into leaving. Helone, have mercy. Are you still here? You may take shelter within our walls if you insist, but do not distract me while I am on duty. We're stretched thin as it is. And where in the hells is that knight I sent out on patrol? He should have returned ages ago. Perhaps I have use for you after all. If you still wish to aid us, search the wilds to the west for my missing man. You will know him by his uniform, that of House Durandare, as is mine. Every person you come up to that wants nothing to do with you always conveniently has some task, for you to do and then get in their good graces. If it wasn't for you, miss, I reckon they would have finished me off. Despicable dragon-loving bastards. Death was a mercy they didn't deserve. I prayed the rumors were mistaken, but this confirms the worst. I must immediately inform my superiors that the heretics are operating within this region. Fare thee well, friend. It's interesting to think on the heretics and then, obviously it just makes you think of basically all of Heavensward, because that's what it's about, but, just kind of the amount of change that's happened since then. I must say, I didn't actually expect you to find my knight, much less rescue him. I see I may have been premature in my judgment, miss. We are a proud people, beholden to tradition, but that does not mean we are without humility. I shall instruct the astrologians to entertain your request. However, understand that it is ultimately their decision whether or not you may peruse their records. Pray proceed to the observatorium and introduce yourself to Edmeli. Or Edmel. Whichever. Ah, the lady come in search of the airship. This is highly unorthodox. Whatever could Sir Ludoval be thinking? It is true that we maintain meticulous records which stretch back generations. However, because this information is used to chart Dravinian activity, access is strictly controlled. One can never be too careful with heretics and their sympathizers lurking about. If you would persist with your inquiries, pray seek an audience with Chief Astrologian Forlamont up above. Or Forlamort. Forlamore. The great butchering of names. That's what Kurthus and Ishgard is going to be all about. Maybe Forlamore? No, absolutely not. Have you... Oh. Okay, let's try that. No, let's try this again. No, absolutely not. Have you any inkling what it is you asked? Let's... There we go. Were our records to fall into the wrong hands, it could change the course of a war which has raged for generations. I speak not of some mere spat between Southron nations. Ours is a holy crusade, and we are the arbiters of Helone's will. I will not put our great nation at risk, certainly not to help a foreigner locate a missing airship of all things. Pardon the intrusion, Forlamont. I wish to speak with you regarding the recent... Oh, I did not realize you had a guest. Inquisitor Guillimain, you honor us with your presence, sir. The lady was just leaving. Ah, you must be the one who rescued House Durandare's knight from those heretics. Doubtless they feel indebted to you. I am told you seek an airship last seen in Kurthus 5 years ago, yes? You come to us at an inconvenient time, I fear. Much has changed in the intervening years, and little for the better. While I wish you the best of luck in your search, I would also strongly advise caution. The snows can come quickly in Kurthus. One moment you may feel as though you have a firm grasp on your surroundings, safe and secure in your knowledge, and the next you may find yourself in a wholly unfamiliar situation, blind to the dangers hidden by the blizzard. It would be wise for you to focus on a single landmark whilst traveling. Do not give in to temptation and deviate from your course. I kind of feel that's both like sincere advice and a threat. Like, stick to the airship thing and don't waver from that. Keep to yourself. I was not aware you aided House Durandare in that fashion. Thank you, madam. Nevertheless, my decision stands. I cannot give you what you seek. Men of honor. Jose is attempting, or Josie is attempting to attract your attention. You there, madam. I cannot help but overhear your conversation with the chief astrologian. There may be a way I can assist you, but it would require that you perform for me a favor in exchange. Of course. An associate of mine has yet to return from his expedition to the cliffs east of the observatorium. He was adamant that he could conduct his observations alone, despite the presence of Ixal in that vicinity. If you would seek out this astrologian and confirm that he is well, it would be a great comfort to me. That's easy enough. Oop. Can I? Yes, I can. There's just something so beautiful to me just about like a blanket of snow over an area. Like I live in Texas, and I mean, obviously as bad as like the snowstorm was and the effects that it has, I mean, it was beautiful to just look out at and just see, the just the snow everywhere that just. And I'm also like I've lived, California the first 20 years of my life, and now Texas the next 20, and so I'm just not used to snow. So it's like it's always kind of new and exciting when I see it. What a relief to see someone other than a goddamn birdman. I thought I could finish my work whilst the Ixal were away, but they returned far quicker than I anticipated. It was all I could do to hide and hope they might leave again before I froze to... Wait, who are you? You are not one of our knights. A man of House Durandare cannot be seen in the company of an unbeliever. Good day, madam. Wow. I mean, I know Ishgardians can definitely be uppity, but I mean, when you actually come to help them out, they're like, thanks for the help, but, get out of my presence. Okay, I don't know why I didn't think I couldn't mount in here. But this is a nice... Oop. Okay, where are we? Okay. The arrogant fool returned not long before you arrived, muttering about the disgrace of having been rescued by an unbeliever. Serves him right for underestimating the dangers our knights face every day. But you are eager to locate your airship. It may surprise you that by saving him, you have already aided your own cause. House Durandare is quick to regard outsiders with suspicion, as it is their duty to sound the alarm at the first sign of Dravinian aggression. Yet you have already aided them twice, for which they are honor bound to repay you. Even so, they will not grant you access to the observatorium's records. That is just as well, for there are other ways you might locate your missing airship. What I propose is that you petition Lord Portelaine for an official introduction to the other high houses. The word of House Durandare carries tremendous weight in Ishgard. Should the captain consent, you would have little trouble obtaining information from the other high houses. Okay. Sorry, just a quick reread, kind of. Didn't quite pick it all up the first time through. You've caused quite a stir in your short time here. First you slay 2 heretics and save a knight, and now I hear you have rescued a man of our house. I imagine you must desire something for your troubles. An introduction to the other high houses. I cannot deny that you have given us no cause to distrust you. But while you have performed 2 acts, you would have me endorse you to 3 high houses. It is only fitting that you aid us one final time, wouldn't you agree? Three for 3. Lord Portelaine requires that you perform a third task on behalf of House Durandare. Now, I understand you are very eager to find your missing airship. Worry not, for this task should take a woman of your skills but a moment to complete. Not long ago, a porter bound for Skyfire Locks was ambushed on the road due west of here. Though he escaped with his life, he would very much like his wares as well. On the off chance any portion of his shipment remains, I would have you travel to the scene of the robbery and bring back what you find. Lest you intend to perform only a cursory search, bear in mind that recovering the stolen merchandise will endear you to House Halenart, further improving the chances that they indulge your request for aid. No. I was going to go furthest to closest, but since it looks like I'm going to have to fight something, I guess I'll go closest to furthest. Although not that it really matters either way. I mean, that was a quick third task. Have you good tidings to share? Or better yet, stolen merchandise to show. Goods bound for market and stolen by a band of heretics. Surprised it didn't just do like a stack of 3. Gods bless you, friend. It's all here, every last... Ah, but wait. That chest over there looks like it might have been pillaged. Bloody hells. That's the personal property of Lord Francel, too. Are you certain? Clearly, an attempt was made to open it, but the lock appears to have held. Nevertheless, if you wish to verify the contents against your shipping manifest, be my guest. Fury take me, a draconian rosary in the possession of Lord... Is it Francel or... Francel? Francel. Yet perhaps this is not so difficult to fathom. House Halenar is whispered to be infested with heretics. Isn't Francel he's the one that's involved in the not the Foundation, the... Why am I brain farting on this? I'll keep reading and come up with it. Thank you for bringing this matter to my attention, miss. I shall inform the inquisitors immediately. Under these circumstances, I must strongly advise against associating with House Halenar. Your other introductions will need to be postponed as well. It is the duty of every Ishgardian to root out and destroy heretics. All else must wait until this matter is resolved. And is it Halenar or Halenar or Halenare? See, I assume it's all based off of French, and I am not super familiar with the language. The firmament. There it is. I got it. Thank you for watching this video. I've been making a ton of progress and having a blast doing it. If you have too, don't forget to blast that like... That's dumb. Just hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you want to see me live, please come and join me on my Twitch. The link is down below. Thank you again for watching this, and have a good one.